Welcome, friend. In a world full of noise, may this moment be your gentle pause. Today, we'll explore a teaching that invites stillness, clarity, and inner peace. Have you ever felt that the more you try to hold on to something, the more it hurts? A relationship, a memory, an expectation. It feels like grasping a rope made of thorns. This pain has a name in the Buddha's teaching. It is the suffering that comes from grasping. But there is a gentle path away from this pain, a way to open our hands and our hearts. It is the path of letting go of attachment. Today, we will walk this path together. We will not force anything. We will simply learn to see things as they are, and in that seeing, find a profound and gentle freedom. Our journey begins by understanding the source of our suffering. The Buddha taught that our pain arises from something called Upādāna, which means clinging or grasping. It is not the world that causes our deepest pain, but our clinging to it. We cling to our body, believing it is a permanent me. We cling to our feelings, whether pleasant or painful, identifying with them completely. We cling to our thoughts, our ideas, our possessions, and even our relationships. We weave them into a story of I and mine. This is my joy, my pain, my life. This clinging happens through what Buddhism calls the 5 aggregates or khandhas. These are the 5 elements that make up our experience: form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. We mistakenly identify these ever-changing processes as a solid, unchanging self. But the teachings remind us this is an illusion. Clinging to this illusion is the root of our anxiety and dissatisfaction. When we believe something is mine, we live in constant fear of losing it. When we believe I am this feeling, we are tossed about by every emotional wave. This clinging is like being bound by invisible ropes. We want to be happy, to be free, but these attachments keep us tied to a post of suffering, unable to move. The feeling is heavy, constricted, and exhausting. We spend so much energy protecting this fragile sense of self, defending our attachments from the natural flow of life. The Buddha said that, in brief, suffering is the 5 clinging aggregates. The very act of grasping at our experience is the source of the fire that burns us. Take a gentle breath. Can you feel one of these ropes in your own life? Is there something you are holding on to so tightly that it brings you pain instead of peace? Recognizing this is not a cause for judgment. It is the first step toward healing. It is an act of profound compassion for yourself. You are simply seeing the truth of your experience. Now that we see the ropes, how do we begin to loosen them? The path is not to cut them with force, but to see them so clearly that they dissolve on their own. This is done through the practice of contemplation. We begin by looking deeply at the nature of impermanence, or anicca. Everything, without exception, is in a state of constant change. Your body is changing with every breath. Your feelings arise, stay for a moment, and then pass away like clouds in the sky. Your thoughts are like a flowing river, never the same twice. When we try to hold on to a pleasant feeling, we create suffering because it must change. When we try to push away an unpleasant feeling, we create suffering because it too will change. By observing impermanence, we see the futility of clinging. Why grasp so tightly to a river? You cannot hold it. You can only let it flow through you. Let this insight soften your grip. Nothing is permanent. This is not a sad truth. It is a liberating one. It means that pain is not permanent, and joy does not need to be owned to be felt. As we see impermanence, another truth reveals itself, the truth of non-self, or anatta. If everything is changing, where is the fixed, solid one that we are trying to protect? The self we believe in is not a thing, but a process. It is a collection of flowing energies, the 5 aggregates, constantly interacting and changing. There is no permanent owner inside. The Buddha taught us to see the world as empty. Not empty of life or joy, but empty of a separate, permanent self. Realizing this illusion of I and mine is the path to release. When you see there is no fixed self to defend, the need for attachment weakens. The fear of loss dissolves. You realize you are not the wave, you are the entire ocean. This is not an intellectual game. It is a practice. Watch your breath. Watch a thought. See it arise. See it pass. You are the awareness watching it, not the thought itself. With this wisdom, the grip of attachment naturally loosens. The ropes become threads, and the threads turn to dust. What is left is not emptiness, but a spacious, loving presence. So how do we live this in our daily lives? Does non-attachment mean we become cold and distant? Not at all. In fact, it is the opposite. It is the secret to true love and connection. The art of living with non-attachment is to engage with life fully, with all your heart, but without clinging to the results. You put forth effort, but you are not defined by success or failure. Think of a gardener. She lovingly prepares the soil, plants the seeds, and waters them with care. She puts in her best effort. But she does not control the rain, the sun, or the seasons. Her joy comes from the act of gardening itself, from connecting with the earth. She accepts the outcome, whether the harvest is bountiful or sparse, with a peaceful heart. This is freedom. You can love someone with all your being. True love is wishing for their happiness, not possessing them. Attachment says, I need you to make me happy. Love says, I want you to be happy. You can work on your goals with passion and dedication, but your self-worth is not tied to the outcome. You find fulfillment in the process, in the growth, in the effort itself. The Buddha taught that we should strive to make our lives beautiful, but to release our attachment to all things. When we do not grasp, nothing can disturb our inner tranquility. This inner freedom is the true happiness we seek. It is not dependent on what we have or what we achieve. It is a peace that comes from within, unshakable by the changing world. When your heart is not clinging, it is open. It is free to experience the richness of life in each moment. The taste of tea, the warmth of the sun, the sound of a friend's laughter. You are no longer a prisoner of your own expectations. You are a participant in the beautiful, mysterious dance of life. So my friend, let's practice this together, right now. Bring to mind something you are clinging to, a worry about the future, a regret from the past, a desire for things to be different. Do not judge it. Just acknowledge it with kindness. See the tension it creates in your mind and body. This is the feeling of grasping. Now take a slow, deep breath. As you breathe out, imagine your hands gently opening. Imagine the tight grip softening, just a little. You are not pushing it away. You are simply allowing it to be, without needing to hold it so tightly. You are giving it space. You are letting it float in the vastness of your awareness. See its impermanent nature. It is a passing cloud. It is not you. Feel the space that opens up when you loosen your grip. In that space is peace. In that space is freedom. This is a practice for a lifetime. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Each time you notice yourself clinging, you have another beautiful opportunity to practice letting go. The more you practice, the lighter your heart will become. The more you release, the more truly you will live. True happiness is not found in getting what we want, but in freeing ourselves from the need to have it. It is the peace of an open hand and an open heart. May you feel the gentle release of letting go. May you discover the boundless freedom that has always been within you. Thank you for being here. If this teaching brought you calm or insight, consider sharing it with one person or many. May you walk gently today with peace in your heart. Until next time.